Hi everybody, I'm back with my final example of the things that I will be doing in my Patreon subscriptions. So let's have a look. I will be launching it in this month, November. I'm not quite sure about the correct date yet, and that depends of course on all the preparations I need to do and prepare for the launch of the Patreon subscriptions. But please keep in touch with me and keep informed, and I will of course inform you whenever I'm going online with all these subscriptions. So let's have a look at this one. So in this subscription, I will be going deep into the secrets of the lot of Daimon spirit, because that is a very interesting topic to get acquainted with, simply because it's called the lot of spirit, and that's of course in any modern sense and also in the ancient sense that was quite a heavy subscription, a name for something. So the secrets of the lot of the daimon, or the lot of the spirit, is of course a very interesting study in getting to know the way you do things in your life. So, and of course there is a specific Time Lord method dedicated to to the lot of daimon spirit, called zodiacal releasing, which I call aphesis at the moment, but it's also simply zodiacal releasing from the lot of spirits. So that's an interesting one to get acquainted with, and of course I've published some of this material already on the free subscriptions and YouTube pages. So check that out if you. I blocked them simply because I wanted to use that material, of course, for this Patreon subscription. And but there are a lot of innovations in it, simply because I would want to go quite deep into this material. So people interested should take note that this is a very deep study of the lot of Daimon spirit, as how I conceived it, and how of course Robert Schmidt introduced it, and what I did with it, and how it helped me get to grips with this method of zodiacal releasing that is based on the lot of Daimon. So my general statement about the lot of the daimon has to do with something that moves the soul, and it moves the soul to action. So this is exactly how it was defined also by ancient astrologers. Spirit happens to be Lord of Soul, which is quite a statement to make, and of every mental faculty, which has to do a lot with how you think, or how your mind works, I guess, and the things that will arouse the soul to action. And that's of course coming from Robert Schmidt's tutorial. Yeah, that's something that I've been dealing with quite a lot, and delved into quite deeply, I hope. And it really helped me understand things going on in the native's life. And I hope it will do that for you as well. It's a very interesting study to simply get acquainted with, simply because it's also something really quite distant from the modern takes on the psyche of the native. And this is quite another take on it, but also very enhancing in trying to understand what moves you to do the things that you do in life. Now, first of all, I, of course, like to uh, say to everyone interested in this that I do this in natal chart reading when I do the traditional takes on them. And I got a very kind comment from Jerry, who turned out afterwards that he was quite proficient in astrology as well. So that this was a very humbling comment, because it's so underlined the efforts I took to trying to get to grips with all this material. So I was very pleased with the comment that Jerry gave me on the delineation I did and the natal chart reading of his chart, and especially the focus that I had with it on zodiacal releasing, but also in general trying to get to grips with how the traditional astrology had a overview of somebody's life with the ancient methods, and that was very interesting. But also the specific chart reading having to do with zodiacal releasing turned out to be very revealing for him. And well, he commented this on me, and I was quite humbled by it, but also it brought a blush to my cheeks. So let's get on with what I'm going to do. So this is, in general, this is what the Lot of Daimon Spirit is about. It's an analysis, and zodiacal releasing, of course, also. It's an analysis based on a specific point in your chart, which we now call the Lot of Daimon or the Lot of Spirit, and it informs you about your approach to life, as if it is an undertaking, as if your life is a project that you need to get to grips with or deal with or handle. So it's what it signifies what you usually in general your style of action is and how you go about your life as being a project. And that's a very interesting take on this Lot of Spirit. Now the glyph that you see is from Kurt Manwaring's Delphic Oracle software. I really love these glyphs because what he does, he places the specific planet that is the basis of the specific hermetic lot is placed on the earth, because that's exactly what the lots are about. They are the let's say the specific items, specific themes of a planet landing on earth in your daily life around you, sort of devoid of their perhaps spiritual or higher principles, and they are landed on earth around you, and you have to deal with them on a daily basis or sometimes in specific situations. For instance, the Lot of Courage that has to do with the planet Mars landing on Earth is called the Lot of Courage, of course, but then the question is, why would you need another factor which gets the name Courage when you have Mars already in your chart? Well, the difference is that courage has to do with concrete situations in your life that take courage, that ask you to be courageous simply because they are situations that challenge you, and they challenge you to do something that you are actually quite scared of to do normally, but these are about situations which ask for this courage, so they ask you to do something that you normally would never dream of doing. So that's the principle of courage. There is a situation that you need to address, and it needs you to do something that you would normally never do. And that's the principle of courage, the planet Mars landing on Earth, so to speak. And this goes for all these 7 hermetic lots, and also the Lot of Spirit, the Lot of Daimon. So that also has to do with situations that do something with you and challenge you to do something in a specific way. And that's what these hermetic lots are all about, but in this case it's the Lot of Daimon Spirit that is a specific a theme for this presentation, and a specific theme for the course that I'm offering on this zodiacal releasing stuff. So let me tell you something about the origin of the principles having to do with the Lot of Spirit, the Lot of the Daimon. And when you start top down, you have to start with, of course, Helios the Sun, because the Lot of Daimon is, of course, the lot having to do with the principles of Helios the Sun. So in principle, Helios the Sun is this issue. It's representative of dawn, spring, and what happens is that nature awakens and comes to life. And you could say that dealing with the Lot of Daimon, the Lot of the Sun, and sort of, you can say that this is a philosophical component of what we're trying to get to with this Lot of Daimon. So the second one is Helios the Sun in your chart. So you could say that when on the philosophical level the Sun is that what awakens nature, you could say that the Sun in your own chart is the things that awaken you from the inside, or you could say the things that bring you to life, what inspires you to act or to do something, and you could say that that is the inner component. So there is a principle out there which is Helios the Sun, And what happens when the dawn breaks? Everything awakens and comes to life, and we step out of bed and we go to work, right? We start our daily jobs and our daily issues. In the natal chart, the sun as a symbol, the symbol of Helios, the sun, is that what awakens you from the inside. Something in you awakens you to act on something. So that inspires you to do something, or inspires you to get into action. And now we get to the lot of the Daimon spirit. You could say, as I said in the previous slide, that the lots have to do with things coming down to earth, placed in the environment of the native, and that has to do with something that is around you from the outer world. So you could say that what awakens you in the outside world, what brings you to life, what inspires you, what stimulates you to action, coming from the outside. So we have a philosophical component, the sun. We have a inner component, which is the glyph of the sun in your natal chart, where the sun lands in your chart, so to speak. And then you have also the trickling down effect of the sun via its lot of Daimon, the lot of the sun related to your everyday environment, because it's calculated from the ascendant, and of course the ascendant represents you as the native. And then you could say that that is the outer external component. So this goes, the red numbers 1, 2, 3, that's the, let's say, the inner component. But the black circle is the conceptual circle, 1, 2, 3. But when you start with the lot of the Daimon itself, then you could say that it's the reverse order, because we get motivated by things in the outer world. Also, they go together, of course. And when that is the case, when you are inspired by something, and you always hear this in everybody's biography of people having very important experiences, that they encountered something, they saw something, they heard something, and that awoke them to some inner quest for realization of some thing that they wanted to take action on, wanted to do with their life. So that is the principle of the lot of the Daimon. So that happens, of course. We get inspired by things that awakens us from the inside, and then you come to the final phase, which is actually Helios, the sun, as a principle, something coming to life, something inspires you to move on, and that is sort of an idea of making sense of your life. It could also be very spiritual, of course. So this is the perhaps the hermeneutic circle of the principles having to do with the lot of a Daimon. So that's at the core of what I will be presenting in this Patreon tract. So this is the content of this tract. It's the most costly one, but I guarantee you it will be very rewarding to study this material, and it will help you certainly in your practice of astrology when you do work for clients. But it's a very interesting one. So just read about what the ideas of this tract, this subscription, and what you will be getting out of it. So take your time. This slide will be on screen for some time, so you can easily read all about it. So I hope to see you there, of course. So thank you for listening to this, and I hope I've inspired you to at least acquaint yourself with Hellenistic astrology, because it's quite a new take on astrology as it stands, and you can really get it deeper into this astrology, and that's why I called it Epignosis, deeper into astrology. And I hope you will be interested in it, so take your pick and join me, I hope. And other people, because I got some nice comments, people enthusiastic about trying to get to a place where they can discuss things having to do with this material. So I hope to see you there. So take your pick and join me, and I hope to see you there. Thanks again for listening, and please notify other people of the fact that this is coming, and pretty soon as well. Thank you.